Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because this one still keeps me up at night. I wish I could tell you it was just another sailor's tale, but I was there. I lived it. And there are nights I still wake up hearing the voices out there in the dark. My name's Caleb Moore. I worked for about 8 years on shipping routes up the eastern seaboard. Boston, New York, Halifax, you name it. Cargo runs, pretty routine stuff. In the fall of 2022, I took a last-minute gig on a vessel called the Halcyon Dawn, night run, light crew. It was supposed to be an easy paycheck, 3 days from Baltimore up to Newfoundland. No problem. I should have walked away when I saw the ship. The Dawn was old, real old. I mean, built in the 60s, barely modernized. You could smell the rust in the air. And the crew? Just 6 of us. Captain, first mate, me in engineering, 2 deckhands, and an old cook named Eddie. The first night was fine. Cold, quiet, clear skies. The sea was calm. But when midnight hit, something changed. We were passing through an old shipping lane, unused since the 1980s. The radio started picking up static. At first, just white noise. Then, voices, real faint, like people talking underwater. No one could make out the words. The captain shrugged it off. "Old interference," he said. "Happens all the time." But then, around 3 a.m., the ship slowed. Not engines. Engines were fine. I checked them myself, but it felt like something was pulling the Dawn, like a heavy drag in the water. And that's when the fog rolled in. Thick, gray. Couldn't see more than 5 feet past the rail. The radar, useless. Just a blank screen. Around sunrise, the fog cleared. And there it was. Another ship, drifting dead ahead. No lights, no flag. Looked ancient, covered in barnacles, half sunk. But here's the thing. There were figures on deck, at least a dozen, but they weren't moving, just standing, frozen, faces turned toward us, pale as bone. We hailed them. Nothing. No movement. Just silence. The captain ordered us to steer clear, but we couldn't. The Dawn wasn't responding. It was like the water itself was pushing us closer. When we finally scraped alongside, the air dropped cold. I mean, breath clouds in your face cold. In October, in open sea. We tossed a line across, and 2 of us boarded, me and Eddie. The deck was slick with algae. The boards groaned underfoot. Every door we tried was locked, except one. It led below decks. I didn't want to go down there. God help me, I didn't. But Eddie said, "We gotta check." So we did. The lower levels stank, like rot, salt, and something else. Something sour. We found the crew quarters. Bunks still made. Plates on the tables. But no one was there. That's when we heard it. A faint sound, like chanting, low, rhythmic, coming from the aft hold. We followed it, past rusted beams and hanging nets, and there in the dark, we saw it. A massive iron crate. The thing was chained shut, covered in strange symbols scratched into the metal. Not letters, symbols, and surrounding it, figures, at least 8 of them, dressed in old mariner coats, skin gray, like they'd been dead for decades. But they were moving, slow, shuffling, chanting in some language I couldn't place. When we stepped closer, they all turned. Same moment, like one mind. And those eyes, God, pitch black, no whites, no life. Eddie bolted. I followed. We didn't stop till we were back topside. We cut the line and pushed off with everything we had. The Dawn finally responded, but the engine screamed. That night the fog came back, thicker than before, and the voices on the radio, louder. They were calling names, our names. Caleb, Eddie, Jameson. The first mate locked himself in his cabin. Next morning he was gone. Cabin still locked from the inside. No broken windows, no trace, just gone. The next night, Eddie vanished too. We found his boots by the rail, like he'd stepped out of them and disappeared. By day 3, only 3 of us were left. Me, the captain, and one deckhand. The water turned still, no waves, no wind, just black glass stretching in every direction, no horizon, no stars, no sun. And then we saw them, dozens of them, figures standing on the water, pale, still, watching. The captain lost it, locked himself in the wheelhouse, praying nonstop. That night something boarded us. We heard it, heavy steps on the deck, chains dragging, a sound like wet cloth sliding over steel. The deckhand tried to fight it, took a flare gun and went topside. We heard one shot, then silence. When I went up at dawn, there was no body, just a trail of black sludge leading over the side. I tried the radio, static, tried the GPS, spinning, tried the engine, dead. And then a voice, not on the radio, in my head. It said, "You boarded what was not meant to be found." I don't remember much after that, just flashes, faces in the dark, a voice whispering, "One must tell the tale." Next thing I knew, I was in a hospital bed in Maine. Coast Guard said they found me floating in a life raft. No sign of the Halcyon Dawn, no wreckage, no beacon, nothing. They didn't believe a word of my story, said I must have hallucinated. Survivor's trauma, but I know what I saw. And sometimes when the fog rolls in, I swear I can still hear that chant, just under the waves. So if you ever take a job on an old freighter and they tell you it's an easy run, walk away. You might not be alone out there. If you enjoyed this story, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share it with someone who loves a good scare. And hey, stay safe out there. You never know what's waiting in the fog.